Holy sh! Oh my God. Look at that. That'll make your life flash before your eyes.
Hello, sunshine.
I guess this is signs of a farmer. You have corn in your console, earplugs, a couple of wrenches, sunglasses, coffee. I guess down there's a hat, so probably all we need, I guess. So it's been a little bit of a rough start, like it always is every year. Yesterday we were going along fairly decent, then we had a feeder house chain break, one link, and unfortunately it was not a link that was, it was a link that was attached to another piece, so it's kind of a specific deal. So we kind of got creative, and we repaired it. And Gary repaired it, rather. Still, that part needs to be replaced. That was the part I was talking about in an earlier video. Co-op doesn't even open until noon today because it's Sunday, so I have a pretty lazy morning, which is kind of nice. Fill up the combine, do a bunch of greasing, and then that air conditioner deal, I'm not really sure. The drain in our air conditioner has a hose that goes down the side of the cab and just drops through the floor, and all the water just falls out on the ground. But that tube is apparently clogged, and so it's building up there somewhere and just raining. So I've run a drill, and my tire pump, I don't think the tire pump has enough pressure, but I'm going to try and put that in there and see if I can't blow any dirt or mud that's in there out. So I'm pretty skeptical if this is gonna work. Okay, that's clearly not gonna work. If I can't, I brought a drill with a really little bit, and I'm just gonna poke a couple holes in there and just let it drain on the floor. This isn't the way they do it at John Deere, but this is the way we do it here. It's not like the floor of the combine has never been wet before by any means. And then what else we gotta do? We got the truck full, we got the wagon full. Grease. Oh, I wanna also use that compressor to check one of these tires. It seemed a little squishy to me, but tractor tires always look a little squishy to me, but we're gonna take a look at that and see if we can't get it pumped up. So I want to check the air pressure on this tire, but unfortunately with these side hill units on here, these final drives or whatever, literally stopped it at the exact worst spot in the rotation. It's a nice day out. There isn't a cloud in the sky, just a light breeze. You might be able to hear the corn rustling. Maybe? Can you hear that? I don't know. Anyway, I can hear corn rustling over here. That's, well, where we're at for this morning. That's how you tell when it's full. You hear that gauge doesn't work. Well, good morning, everyone. It's been a couple busy days, and I've had pretty good luck with harvesting corn. Gary, not so much with the beans. He had a pretty major belt do something. I couldn't really get it out of him because he was kind of annoyed. And I'm not positive. I think he ran a log or a small branch, tree branch, something like that size maybe, up into his combine, and it wedged, and somehow that was enough pressure to throw a belt, which is a pretty major belt, and then it was all bound up, and I don't know, I guess he ended up cutting the belt off. I saw the belt laying on the floor, cut in two, or cut in one, I guess. It's not a circle anymore. So I guess I'm having a better day than he is, and hopefully it continues to stay that way. It got really chilly last night. Yesterday it was like 90 degrees and very windy, And I woke up this morning and it was 46, I think, 48. But I'm gonna try and take some of the grain in that I cut last night, and then we'll get started combining. I think one of the worst things when you're kind of opening up a field, this field is half done, but sometimes you have to cut, kind of have to open up the middle. We have a ditch that's going along this side of me here, and it runs pretty long, but it curves into my other rows. This probably isn't making any sense, but I have to cut out this centerpiece before I can continue those rows over there, because they come to a point, a junction, and you want to be cutting your corn straight. The problem with this is that I know that I can just barely do one of these passes without filling up the bin. And if I do fill up the bin before we get to the end, then there's no real way to get out of here, which means I'm gonna have to get creative, and hopefully it doesn't come to that. So we're going to the trees up there. That's what we got going on in the bin. I think I can make it. Hopefully. All right. Well, we're almost to the end. Right up to the end, and as you can tell, we made it. I guess I jumped the gun on my panic situation. You never know though. Sometimes you get stuck in these little spots, and then like you don't want to just run crops down to get out, but you can't back up all the way. All right. First wagon of the day. We sent a load in a little bit earlier. Woo! Windy and cool. So I got a little bit of this started up last night, but it was kind of getting too dark to see what was going on. So I sent up kind of a heavy load this morning. But, what the hell? My mirror broke. I wonder when that happened. Wasn't me this time. I don't think it was. Kind of a useless mirror anyway. Well, shit. It's the damn stem. Oh my god. It's going along pretty good though. It's got that little piece over here behind the trees, and that's done with this field. But that's a problem. Well, what an absolutely crazy day or so. Had a flat tire. I think that was probably the last thing you saw in the video here. Need to get the inner tube switched out. But we decided rather than fixing it right away, we were going to try to take a tire off a different combine and just slap it on there until we get that one fixed. Well, that one was just a little bit wider, and after doing 2 rounds, I could smell burning rubber. I thought I lost a belt, and I was actually just rubbing that tire really hard. So I stopped, went to go get the tire fixed from a guy we know that has a tire machine, and that was all good, but then we needed to get a new tube. Called 3 tire stores. None of them have that tube size, which is pretty much the front end of most tractors from the 80s, 90s era, probably 70s as well. But no one had one. The only people that had one was actually just a farm supply store, which is cool. It doesn't really surprise me, and it's not as good a quality, but we have a tire. So now I just got everything dropped off at the field, and then realized I forgot the damn wrench, the power driver. So I gotta drive back to the farm and get that, and then come back and switch it out, and then resume my daily normal stuff. Seems like all we're doing is driving around this morning.
Big on Sports Afield in Menards. And check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for more great deals.
That was literally touching right there. I was burning up that sidewall. Not good. This tire was really old. It was sketchy, to say the least. There's a mouse. I think there's a mouse in the combine. So it's not ideal. This still rubs, but not like that other tire did, and that always kind of has rubbed because this piece right here needs to be straightened out. That is bent a little bit. Well, actually not bent. Inside there, that cylinder is not completely cylindrical anymore. It's probably, you know, at the bottom it probably leans that way and the top it leans that way. So this isn't straight. This needs to be replaced, and we probably need to do that. We're gonna have to take a bunch of stuff off there, but that's gonna have to be done sooner than later. But it's made it that way for more than 10 years, so we'll see. Well, it is what? It's already 1 o'clock. I just turned the combine on for the first time after going to get the tire fixed, all that other crap. We got Gary loaded up with beans. Make sure I don't run into my truck. Okay, I'm good. Some days it just seems like all you do is spend your time running around. But we really don't have much left here. I mean, we have that over that telephone pole or whatever, and what's behind those trees. There really isn't much, but that ground over there, despite not be having much on it, is it can be a little bit difficult to work, just simply because there's a lot of turning and crap like that. There's some kind of weird ditches and stuff like that. So anyway, we're gonna be able to get this done. And reminder to self, I left 3 rows up by the front of the field that were right where we started planting. That just, I don't know, I left 3 rows there. It's just the way it worked out mathematically, I guess. All right, let's get this going. In the way. Hopefully that's all of them. Me. Holy shit! Oh my god. Look at that. make your life flash before your eyes. God damn! Jesus. What a mess. You gotta shut that damn thing off. Oh my God. That scared the crap out of me. Wow. Alright, shut all this stuff down, let this idle down a little bit. Cool down. Jesus Christ. Suppose that's buried in there like a million feet deep. You can't even see it in there. God, I don't know how we're gonna get that out of there. That is not good. Alright, we gotta figure this out. That is a major problem. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? Should be idled down enough.